When deep-sea fishermen filmed something no one believed existed, the world finally saw mermaids that science could not name. Creatures too human to dismiss, yet too impossible to accept. Why do their faces mirror ours? Why do they react with fear, anger, recognition? And if these beings have lived beneath us all this time, what else have we misunderstood about the ocean we claim to know? Tonight, we examine every terrifying encounter caught on camera and uncover the footage they were never meant to capture. The mermaid on dry sheets. Funny how the strangest footage never comes from ships or sonar, but from a quiet bedroom in a coastal town where someone pressed record a second too soon and captured a being that looks painfully, uncannily human. The girl lies still, yet the blue tail clings to her like living armor. A tiny ripple travels along the scales, sharper than any motion fabric could fake. Her smile holds, but her fingers tense as though remembering water the way a homesick migrant remembers the smell of their old street, hinting at a creature dragged inland, like some suburban parody of a Greek nereid stripped of the sea that made her breathe. Analysts who reviewed the clip noted a low scratching beneath the bed frame, rhythmic, almost pleading. If a mermaid learns to mimic our calm so quickly, what does that say about the centuries we spent pretending we didn't see them? And what surfaced later that night made this moment feel disturbingly gentle. Glow beneath the rail. No one expected a glowing figure to drift beneath the ship at midnight, yet the footage filmed on camera shows a mermaid staring upward with a human face far too knowing for comfort. Her skin pulses neon blue like bioluminescent reefs fishermen caught off Chile, each dot moving with the precision of a living constellation. The long hair floats upward as if scanning the man above, shifting like strands of cold fire. A soft vibration runs across her tail, a terrifying reminder that this creature is not decoration, but something that watches back. And scientists shocked by the clip noted her pupils contracting exactly like a human child, reacting to bright screens. If something this aware let itself be caught on camera, what was it testing in us? And the next recording hinted she wasn't alone. The Shoreline siren. Filmed on camera during a late-night patrol, the creature caught on the rocks pulls herself forward with hands shaped unmistakably like a young woman's. Yet her eyes glow with the icy hunger of the Orphic hymn sirens. Water sheets off her skin as she crawls, each coordinated motion terrifying in its precision. Her jaw tightens, scanning the flashlight beam with a slow, predatory discipline. No one believed fishermen caught similar forms near the fjords, but scientists shocked by the footage later compared her posture to depictions of Ran, the Viking sea-taker goddess who sees sailors without warning. The resemblance is specific, anatomical, almost mocking. If mythology keeps reappearing through filmed evidence like this, what did our ancestors truly witness before words replaced memory? And the next recording suggested she was crawling towards something far worse behind the rocks, crawling out of darkness. The world watched in disbelief as a mermaid was filmed forcing herself between jagged rocks, her tail glinting like wet forged steel. She lifts her torso with human strength, arms trembling but controlled, seawater streaming from her spine. Her face contorts in tiny, deliberate movements, as though scanning escape routes the way trapped soldiers map exits. Scientists shocked by the footage noted that her vertebrae flex like a human diver's, yet the tail hinges with an alien rhythm no marine species shares. No one believed fishermen caught similar silhouettes days earlier until sonar scanned shapes matching her proportions exactly. If this is her first attempt at moving on land, what will she become once she learns to balance upright? And the next clip showed the rocks weren't the only things shifting in the dark. Smiling in the black water. No one believed the crew at first when they claimed a human-looking woman surfaced beside their boat. But the moment filmed on camera shows her rising with a smile far too steady for the freezing night. Her shoulders shimmer with faint scales, each one catching light as if scanned by the moon itself. The water barely moves around her, a terrifying stillness that scientists shocked by the footage later described as predatory buoyancy. She looks upward, blinking slowly, the way trained swimmers steady themselves before a dive. Yet her pupils stay fixed on the person holding the phone. Fishermen caught similar figures weeks earlier, dismissing them as tricks of fatigue. But this recording leaves almost no room for such comfort. If she chose to approach without fear, what behavior was she testing in the humans above? And the next footage suggested she expected them to follow. The bound luminescent siren. Filmed on camera at a luxury dock, the mermaid caught on the wooden planks glows with bioluminescent freckles scattered across her body like star maps from the ancient Ptolemaic charts. No one believed the footage at first, yet her eyes stay unnervingly calm as luminous strands of hair drip down her shoulders. Ropes cling to her arms like offerings, recalling the myth of Melusine, the half-woman, half-serpent spirit bound by those who feared her beauty. Yet this creature breathes with a chilling steadiness that scientists shocked by the clip still cannot classify. Her tail flickers beneath her, brighter than chemically lit buoys, and the deck pulses with her reflected glow. Fishermen caught hints of similar light patterns offshore, but none this human. If myths repeat themselves through bodies caught on camera, what ancient memory is she reenacting tonight? And the next video suggested she wasn't captured. She was waiting, suspended in the deep blue. The world watched breathlessly as a mermaid was filmed drifting upright through the deep, her body aligned with a calmness no diver has ever achieved. Her skin glitters with tiny points of light, each one pulsing in patterns scientists shocked by the footage later compared to squid communication signals. Her tail curves elegantly behind her, the scales reflecting faint pink and silver like polished coral. No one believed fishermen caught similar silhouettes on sonar scans. Yet this recording presents a figure so unmistakably human in posture, it unsettles even seasoned researchers. She floats without kicking, as if held by invisible currents that respond to her rather than carry her. If she moves through the water without effort, how fast could she travel when she chooses to flee? And the next footage implied she wasn't fleeing at all. She was approaching. The net that shouldn't hold. No one believed the fisherman caught anything unusual until the creature filmed on camera was lifted onto the deck. Glowing through the mesh like a lantern pulled from the abyss. Her tail shifts under the net with a slow, terrifying grace. Scales lighting up in waves, scientists shocked by the footage later compared to deep-sea voltage pulses. Her head tilts gently, almost human in its confusion, hair drifting as if still submerged. The net creaks around her, and the crew steps back, realizing too late she is not unconscious, just waiting. Every breath lifts her chest with unnatural calm, a rhythm that contradicts the strain of capture. If she allowed herself to be caught on camera this easily, what did she want them to think they controlled? And the next recording made the men regret touching the net at all. The watcher at the drop-off. Filmed on camera near a continental shelf, the mermaid caught on the boundary of darkness drifts with the composure of a statue, her pale scales reflecting the cliffside like polished marble. No one believed the divers at first, yet her stillness resembles the Greek tale of Leucothea, the sea spirit who appeared only to the drowning. Her eyes follow the camera with unnerving clarity, scanning every movement as though calculating the diver's depth and breadth. Scientists shocked by the footage noted her tail fin expands and contracts like a manta's engine, each pulse sending microcurrents through the sediment below. Fishermen caught sonar echoes matching her shape weeks earlier, assuming them to be geological noise. If myths choose their moments to appear again through bodies caught on camera, what exactly is she waiting for at the cliff's edge? And the next footage suggested she wasn't watching the diver, but the void behind him, the net's last breath. No one believed the crew when they said she fought the net without touching it, but the moment filmed on camera shows the mermaid hanging with her body, glowing in shifting violet and turquoise bands, like a living reef under stress. Her hair spills over her face in silver strands, yet her eyes stay fully open, scanning the men with a calm that feels more dangerous than rage. The tail flexes once, and fishermen caught the movement on slow-motion review, a single pulse strong enough to bend the mesh. Scientists shocked by the footage argued her skin refracts light as if layered with microcrystals, responding to fear the way human pupils respond to threat. She doesn't scream, doesn't twist, doesn't plead. She simply watches, letting the illusion of capture comfort them. If she waits this silently, what happens the moment she decides the net has served its purpose? And the next clip answered without mercy. The visitor beneath the hull. It didn't start with a scream this time, just the soft churn of water as a glowing tail carved the dark surface. filmed on camera by a fisherman whose hands shook harder than the waves. No one believed he saw a woman rising toward the ship until her face appeared. Human enough to mistake for a stranded swimmer, yet framed by bioluminescent ripples that moved like thought. Her tail fans outward with terrifying precision, throwing turquoise sparks that scientists shocked by the footage later described as intentional signaling. She pauses, watching the man above her the way trained rescuers study victims before grabbing them. Fishermen caught reflections matching her shape on previous nights, but none dared admit it. If she surfaces with this much confidence, what message is she delivering by letting herself be caught on camera? And the next clip whispered a meaning no one wanted to decode. Moonlit air of the old tides. Under the full moon's mirrored glow, the creature caught on camera sits atop the rock with a poise no one believed belonged to an animal. She sits like royalty waiting for an overdue tribute. Her tail glows in thousands of threaded points, each shimmering pulse bending across her scales like constellations retelling forgotten stories. Scientists shocked by the footage noted her posture mirrors the Celtic goddess Cleodna, said to rise at night and lure sailors with beauty that signaled both mercy and doom. The bioluminescent trails dripping from her arms flicker in a rhythm too deliberate to be random, almost ceremonial. Fishermen caught sonar echoes of similar figures offshore, but none expected one to sit still for a camera as if granting permission. If myth chooses a host this luminous, what ancient ritual is unfolding in front of the lens tonight? And the next footage suggested the ritual wasn't finished. The face beneath the rail. Strangely enough, the silence broke first, not the water, when a blue silhouette drifted up toward the boat, filmed on camera by a deckhand who leaned too far over the railing. Her eyes open before her body fully rises, glowing with a cold, analytical focus that no one believed belonged to anything non-human. Thin tendrils flare from her head like underwater feathers, each tip pulsing as if scanning the air itself. Scientists shocked by the footage claimed her chest expands in a slow, terrifying rhythm, matching the controlled breathing of apex predators before they strike. Fishermen caught faint bioluminescent streaks in the area all week, but none realized they were tracking her path. If she ascends without fear to study the ones who study her, who is actually observing whom? And the next recording made that question feel dangerously literal. Dragged into the cavern. The footage begins with a jolt. Someone drops the camera as a shimmering tail lunges forward, and when the frame steadies, the creature filmed on camera is already dragging a diver into a narrowing cavern. No one believed the recording at first because her tail, caught on the light beam, moves with a terrifying articulation resembling a serpent's spine, each scale shifting independently. Fishermen caught similar pulses days earlier, but assumed their scanners were malfunctioning. Her pale arms vanish into darkness as she pulls harder, not in hunger, but in urgency, as if the intruder has crossed into sacred territory. If she defends even the tunnels with this ferocity, what lives deeper where no camera has ever followed? And the next footage came from someone who tried, the scaled rebel of storm lore. This wasn't a quiet sighting. The creature caught on camera thrashes across the deck with armored scales that clang against metal like a living storm. Her torso, painted in deep greens and silvers, resembles illustrations of a tar goddess, the Syrian sea goddess punished for resisting captivity. But here the myth breathes, fights, and spits seawater at the men restraining her. No one believed fishermen caught something this anthropomorphic until the footage showed her gripping the rope with human knuckles, twisting with terrifying intelligence. Scientists shocked by the recording noted the plates across her ribs interlock like defensive shields rather than decoration. She fights not in panic but strategy, bracing her tail against the floor to launch her weight forward. If even myths once bound by story now resist with film fury, what ancient defiance is awakening on our decks? And the next clip suggested she wasn't the only one rising, the screaming tidebreaker. Before anyone can speak, the footage erupts with a scream so raw it rattles the railing, and the creature filmed on camera lunges forward with her jaws wide, revealing rows of teeth no one believed belonged to a mermaid. Her hair clings to her face like soaked ropes, but her eyes burn with pinpoint pupils that scientists shocked by the footage compared to deep-sea predators preparing to strike. Rain hammers the deck as she thrashes, and fishermen caught the moment her spine contorts with horrifying flexibility. More serpent than human. The men struggle to hold her down, but she moves with tidal force as if each muscle contracts in sync with the storm above. She isn't begging. She isn't retreating. She is reclaiming something. If this is how she reacts when restrained, what would she unleash if freed even for a second? And the next recording nearly answered that question. The giant pulled from gray seas. No one expected the crane to lift something taller than any man on deck. Yet the creature filmed on camera rises slowly into view. Its elongated torso dripping cold seawater, as if the ocean itself resented letting it go. The ribs flex beneath blue skin with terrifying clarity, each expansion too controlled to be unconscious. Fishermen caught shaky reflections matching this silhouette earlier that morning, but no one believed their scans until this moment. Scientists shocked by the footage later noted the creature's posture, hanging limp yet aware, mirrored the way large apex predators conserve energy when observing captors. Its fingers dangle with unnatural length, twitching once as the wind shifts. If this is merely one individual caught on camera, how many larger forms were watching from the waves that kept rising behind the ship? And the next recording suggested the sea was returning for what they took. The blue oracle of tempest decks. Before anyone moves, the creature caught on camera slowly lifts her head from the tangled net, her expression eerily calm despite the chaos around her, as though she recognizes the moment foretold. Her skin, a smooth deep blue, resembles depictions of the Hindu apsaras, celestial beings believed to descend during storms. But this one breathes, watches, calculates. Scientists shocked by the footage described her eyes as preternaturally steady, scanning every motion on deck with unnerving intelligence. No one believed fishermen caught anything sentient until she reached forward with human-shaped fingers, testing the rope tension like someone studying a trap. The net slides against her scales, sparking faint streaks of bioluminescence that flicker like forgotten prophecies. If myth chooses to return through bodies filmed on camera, what warning is she trying to deliver before the storm fully breaks? And the next clip hinted she spoke without needing words. The beach screamer under moontides. It begins with barking, two dogs racing ahead, before anyone notices the figure caught on camera, dragging herself across the wet sand, her tail glowing faintly as if resisting the pull of the tide. No one believed the footage at first because her face turns with terrifying speed, eyes sharpening into slits that fix on the animals. Her ears taper into points, twitching in a rhythm scientists shocked by the recording later compared to echolocation mapping. Fishermen caught sonar traces near the shoreline earlier that night, but none expected the source to crawl directly toward civilization. Her hands dig into the sand with startling strength, not fleeing the dogs but confronting them, as though reclaiming territory the world forgot belonged to her kind. If this is how she behaves when discovered by accident, what happens when discovery becomes intention? And the next footage suggested that moment had already begun. The crawl that shouldn't exist. The moment begins without warning, just a scraping sound on metal, until the creature caught on camera suddenly lunges forward, dragging the net with a strength no one believed came from something half-human. Her skin is pale and stretched tight over sharp bones, every muscle filmed in crisp detail as she claws across the deck like she remembers walking. Teeth flash in a terrifying snarl, and scientists shocked by the footage later noted her breathing pattern matches shoreline predators preparing to sprint. Fishermen caught faint splashes earlier, but assumed it was debris, not this. Her tail thrashes once, propelling her entire body upward with violent precision before she collapses again, still crawling, still hunting. If she moves like this while injured, how fast would she be beneath the waves where nothing restricts her? And the next recording proves someone was about to find out. The storm-white devourer. Some stories claim monstrous spirits rise during tempests, but none expected a creature caught on camera to match those legends so precisely. Snow-white skin, elongated jaw, and a hunger that looks older than language. Filmed mid-struggle, the mermaid thrashes with terrifying precision, her ribs expanding like bellows as she roars against the men restraining her. Scientists shocked by the footage compared her facial structure to depictions of the Japanese ningyo, an omen of disaster whose capture was said to bring storms. Fishermen caught sonar spikes hours before this encounter, but no one believed they signaled a predator this human-shaped. Her tail lashes with brutal force, scattering tools as she twists toward the nearest throat. If a myth once whispered as warning can now be scanned and filmed in daylight, what catastrophe is she heralding by allowing herself to be seen? And the next footage hinted the storm hadn't even begun, the snarl against the harpoons. Before anyone can anchor their footing on the storm-slick deck, the creature filmed on camera twists violently, jaws snapping wide enough to make even the bravest fishermen stumble back. Her expression is feral yet disturbingly human, the muscles in her neck tightening as she emits a sound between a scream and a warning. No one believed fishermen caught something this sentient until she seized an arm with terrifying precision, her claws digging deep as seawater streams off her scales in frantic pulses. Scientists shocked by the footage later observed that her pupils contract in perfect response to aggression, mirroring human combat instincts. Her tail slams the boards again and again, shaking the entire vessel. If she fights this savagely when cornered, what would she unleash in open water where nothing restrains her strength? And the next recording didn't leave that question unanswered for long. Every fragment filmed on camera tonight reveals a truth no one believed we would ever confront. These creatures are not accidents of the deep, but witnesses to a world we barely understand. Their fear, their rage, their warnings, all caught on footage fishermen never meant to capture, force us to question what else has been watching from the dark. And if these encounters are only the beginning, then the next revelation may come sooner than we think. Stay with us, stay curious, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the moment the ocean finally answers back.